corner shot was invented by former IDF counter-terror unit commander Amos Golan and could actually shoot around corners without exposing the shooter.
Alright y'all, welcome back to Commodore Arms channel. Okay, so today we are checking out something from the Agilite YouTube channel. So again, Agilite makes a lot of really solid gear, and a lot of it is for the Israeli Defense Forces. So today we're checking out top 8 coolest and strangest Israeli military inventions. Now, we'll say when I was training with the IDF, they definitely had a lot of stuff that was purpose-built for what they needed. Because again, Israel is pretty much in like constant combat operations, so they're constantly having to adapt and modernize their technology. But they had like really cool things, like it was kind of like a ballistic shield that they were able to remote control through the tunnels and whatnot, just to sort of increase their survivability. So this is top 8 coolest and strangest technology. So I kind of want to see what was sort of purpose built for the IDF. I know they had a lot of cool stuff that was just like really innovative, like their repelling gear, but I don't know if that's necessarily stuff that they created. So yeah, this video is about 4.5 minutes long, so let's check it out.
Israel has been in intense combat since the day of its foundation. The need to survive, outrun, outgun, and outthink their enemies has pushed the Jewish state to create some of the most innovative technology and clever military inventions in the world. Here are the top 8 strangest and coolest Israeli military inventions of all time.
The Iron Dome
Before
has
we
to
hit the
be
list,
in here.
hit the subscribe button for the latest videos on Israeli Special Forces and their gear.
Nice.
Let us know in the comment section what other kind of videos you'd like to
I'll
see
put the
from
original video in the
Agilite
description so you guys can
Here
check
are
it
the
out.
top 8 strangest and coolest Israeli military inventions of all time. Number 1. Corner shot.
Yeah,
The
okay.
corner shot was invented by former IDF counter-terror unit commander Amos Golan and could actually shoot around corners without exposing the shooter. Using 2 high-res cameras, the user can zero in on a target while their body remains unexposed.
Yep.
Number 2.
Okay, I do remember seeing that. So there was a show called, I think it was called Future Weapons, and they showed this thing. And I gotta say, it looks like it'd be really, really solid when it works, but having like all this technology as far as the cameras and whatnot might not necessarily be the best thing. And it's also kind of clumsy. If like you had to engage anyone without having to use a corner shot feature, it looks like it might be kind of awkward. I don't know, but I mean, it's pretty cool how they're able to create that. I mean, back in like World War II, the Germans had like their STG-44s with like curved barrels. I don't know if that was like a legit thing, but I remember seeing that a lot. So it's kind of funny how they're able to just use the tech that they have now to make something like this.
Fighter pilot heads-up display.
Oh, okay.
Remember the good old days when Tom Cruise had to move a joystick to blow up Russian MiG fighter jets? Well, those days are over thanks to the heads-up display. It was developed by Israeli electronics giant Elbit Systems, and it allows pilots to aim weapon systems just by looking at them. The heads-up display uses head positioning sensors and optical tracking to know exactly what the pilot is looking at and provide him with data and a higher level of situational awareness.
I've never looked
3,
through it, but it looks
the Human
awesome.
Backpack Injured Personnel Carrier, IPC.
Okay, I remember this.
Developed by Agilite, the Injured Personnel Carrier allows soldiers to carry an injured friend on their back like a backpack, leaving both hands completely free to operate their rifle. The IPC also became popular with fire departments, search and rescue teams, and law enforcement agencies, as well as by people with disabilities worldwide, allowing them to go hiking, be carried into swimming pools, and more. Number 4.
Okay, I don't know if I would want to be using that for hiking. That's just me. Okay, so I gotta say, it does look interesting. And I do remember them, I don't know if they showed us, I think they might have showed us, but I don't think they actually showed us how to use it. But I remember hearing and seeing this in Israel, and I was pretty skeptical just because it just seems like kind of a hassle. It's something that you can probably do with just like tubular nylon, like they showed us how to do it with just normal webbing. But having something that's purpose built for that is pretty nice. Again, if you need that purpose, it's nice to have it, especially since it's such a lightweight thing. You know, it's not necessarily going to be for like moving someone off of the X after they've just been hit, because it's going to obviously take a long time to set that up and whatnot. But if you have to move from place to place, it's nice to be able to have that at your disposal. At least for the medic to have that or something, like you can maybe have like 1 or 2 per squad. And of course you wouldn't want to have to use it, but it's nice to sort of have that option if you really need to.
Trophy Vehicle Rocket Protection System. Developed by Israeli defense firm Rafael, Trophy protects military vehicles from incoming RPGs and other rockets by dispatching a mini rocket that intercepts the incoming one, detonating it away from the vehicle. This system has already saved countless lives of soldiers and tank operators.
Where does it come from?
Number 5, the Micro Tavor.
I don't know.
The Micro Tavor, also known as the X95, is
Yep.
a pistol-like rifle and one of the cleverest of its type. Manufactured by IWI, it is completely ambidextrous and can be arranged differently for left and right-handed shooters. It is made almost completely out of high-impact polymer, so it does not rust.
It's a great rifle.
It is incredibly short and yet more accurate than many much longer rifles, which makes it the ideal rifle for CQB. Number 6.
It is really nice. I mean, bullpups in general are really solid, but the X95 was even better just because the controls were like, unlike any other bullpup that I've used, the controls were so convenient. I will say when I was shooting it, I was getting a lot of gas in the face, and it was kind of like clunky like most bullpups are, but it is probably one of the best bullpups I've fired.
Iron Dome. The Iron Dome is a mobile short-range air defense system developed by Israeli defense firm Rafael and Israel Aerospace Industries. The system was designed to intercept and destroy short-range rockets and artillery shells fired from distances of 4 to 70 kilometers.
That thing is insane.
This range is ideal for shooting down incoming projectiles fired by Hamas from the Gaza Strip.
It works well.
Since deployed, the Iron Dome has shot down over 85% of projectiles headed for Israeli populated areas, saving countless lives. Number 7, the Mitznefet. The Mitznefet, which at first glance looks like a camouflage chef's hat, is a helmet cover attachment that masks the unnaturally round shape of a military helmet in nature, making soldiers harder for enemies to spot. It also gives soldiers 360 degrees of shade from the sun in the desert heat. The name Mitznefet comes from the headdress worn by the Jewish high priest in the ancient Holy Temple in Jerusalem. Number 8.
Okay, so I do remember seeing that, and then we kind of, I'm not going to lie, we kind of made fun of it when we were in the Marine Corps because it just looked really bizarre. But, I mean, a boonie hat with, you know, like some webbing or some jute on it works pretty well as well. So I don't know if that's necessarily like a really solid invention. It seems like it works well enough, but I can't imagine that it would work more effectively than a boonie that has like jute and netting on it. Because again, you can use that natural vegetation as well. And I think sort of enforcing those principles is going to be a little bit better than wearing that camouflage chef hat. But again, that's just me being a hater. I mean, it did definitely work better than just having a, you know, a standard helmet, because that silhouette is very, very obvious. But I can imagine that has its own pretty distinct silhouette as well.
Krav Maga. Before the UFC, a comprehensive mixed martial arts was developed by the IDF called Krav Maga. The fighting system consists of a combination of techniques sourced from boxing, karate, Muay Thai, Wing Chun, judo, jiu-jitsu, wrestling, and grappling, along with realistic fighting training. Krav Maga is known for its focus on real-life situations and extremely efficient and brutal counterattacks.
Yes.
If you enjoyed this video and want to see more about IDF Special Forces and their gear, hit the subscribe button and notification bell. Like this video.
You guys can go ahead and hit that subscribe button for me as well. I'd appreciate that. So, okay, Krav Maga is brutal. I will say, even like just the train up for it, you're basically training to just have like your pure aggression come out. They basically put you in a corner, and then they'd have like 3 or 4 guys just push you into the corner, and you have to like fight your way out of it. So it's kind of like you just getting pissed off, and all this built up aggression just starts coming out as explosive strength. And sometimes you can get out, sometimes you can't. And it's just really frustrating because it's just like all these guys pushing you literally into a corner. So you can't really breathe. You can't really even move. So you're just having to get all this aggression. And that's kind of how you train up for it. You're just getting this aggression out really quick to just do a lot of damage to someone as soon as possible. So it is cool, and it's definitely more realistic and more practical than a lot of other martial arts I've seen. So some of these inventions were pretty interesting. Of course, the tank thing was pretty insane. I've not seen anything like that. So there's going to be a lot of very fancy stuff, as we saw in this video, but there's also some more simple things, as far as like the thing that they're wearing on their helmets. That's pretty simple. Their corner shots is pretty old tech, I think, at this point, because again, I remember watching the video about that in like the early 2000s or something. So we're kind of getting the best of both worlds here. But let me know what you guys think about these inventions down in the comment section. If you guys have had like any similar sort of like maybe like a counterpart to what you saw in this video in your country, let me know how that was and how it might be a little bit more effective. Because I know, I mean, it's not even inventions, it's just different techniques. Because in Sweden, you guys go crazy with the natural vegetation, and that seems to work really well. So I do think there's also different techniques you can use as opposed to inventions. So if you guys have anything like that that you use in your military, you can throw it down below. That'd be cool to check out, sort of see how they compare with stuff that we saw in this video. But yeah, definitely cool to check out. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, you can hit the thumbs up, comment, and let me know what you think. Send any other recommendations that you want down in the comments section, and I'm more than willing to check them out. But that is it for this video, so I will see y'all in the next one.